running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by today. Today's video is going to be my weeks 15 and 16 twin pregnancy update video. So if you guys are wondering why sometimes I do 1 week and sometimes I do 2 weeks, it really just depends on how much I had going on during those weeks, because if I had something really important to talk about, I like to do it in one entire video, but sometimes the weeks just like kind of mesh together and it's not really necessary to do 2 total videos. And if you're pregnant, you probably understand what I'm talking about. So let's talk about weeks 15 and 16. What happened? What did I do? What were the babies doing? How much I'm growing and all of that. So I wanted to start out with a weight check-in. So pretty much, as I had told you guys in some of my earlier videos, my weight had dropped down like a pound or 2, and then it was kind of staying that way throughout the entire first trimester, and I didn't really gain much weight then. I now have gained, so I'm now weighing in, depending on the day, either at 159 or 160, and so that is about, from when I dropped down to 154, that's about 5 or 6 pounds from the weight that I started at after my fertility meds had like made me gain some weight before I got pregnant. And so what I started at when I got pregnant was 156. So if we go off of that, then I've gained 3 pounds or 4 pounds. And that's kind of where I'm at now. And today is the first day of my 17 weeks. So I just finished up my 16th week and I've gained about 3 or 4 pounds or 5 or 6 pounds, depending on, which weight you're looking at. But I did want to just check in with that because I don't think I have checked in on that area in a couple of weeks, because for so long it just stayed the same and wasn't changing at all, especially during the first trimester. But I do think it's going to start rapidly changing now that I'm gaining and I am well into my second trimester. All right, let's start out with week 15. I am going to look at my notes a little bit here. So week 15, I had a really cool experience. I took my phone flashlight and I shone it through my belly so that the babies would be able to possibly see the light, because I had read in one of my apps that they can see sort of like changes in light and stuff like that in your belly. So once I did that, I felt the flutters immediately of them kind of like reacting to the light. So I thought that was super cool and something that maybe you want to try too. Even if you're further along, I wouldn't probably try it if you're a lot earlier than 15 weeks, just because I know that their eyes aren't really capable of seeing that yet, but it doesn't hurt to try. It was definitely cool. And if you are already feeling baby movements and you know what that's like, then you will definitely feel some cool ones when you shine the flashlight through your belly. So I am a lot hungrier now. During my first trimester, I was not very hungry. I didn't want to eat very much, but now I am hungry all the time. I want to snack all the time. And I teeter-totter between wanting like super healthy food. Like I'll be like, I really want a salad. I want spinach. I want vegetables. To like 5 seconds later, I'm like, I want cookies. I want Gushers. I want ice cream. So I'm all over the place. But I'm still trying to make sure that I'm getting all my nutrients and stuff like that. I am taking those ritual vitamins that I told you guys about. As always, they're going to be linked in my description box below if you guys are interested in getting those as your prenatals. But I am doing everything that I can to stay healthy, but I am eating junk food sometimes. I am definitely eating, I got Gushers because I was craving them for like a week. So I put them on my grocery order and I've already had 3 bags of Gushers and my groceries came in at like 8 o'clock last night. So that's, it's fine. But I'm definitely having some more cravings and I'm hungrier than I typically have been throughout this pregnancy. So that is definitely a change that came with weeks 15 and 16. I definitely have been having a lot of mood swings and anxiety. I'm sure that the quarantine and all of that has a lot to do with my anxiety that I've been having, but at the same time, I know that my hormones go a little wacky when I'm pregnant and postpartum. At least they did with Chloe, and I seem to be doing so this time as well. So I'm trying to keep on top of it, trying to not let my anxious mind take over, but I definitely have a hard time kind of separating my anxiety from what's actually like going on. And so I've been working on that, and because of having a lot of this anxiety and hormonal issues, I'm also having like mood swings. So I could be dancing around the house with Chloe, like singing 1 second, and then I'm, arguing with my husband and like almost in tears the next second, nothing serious, but it's just, sometimes these hormones just hit you and you go through these like wild roller coaster of emotions. And it takes a while to get like kind of step back from that and recognize, okay, maybe that was a little crazy, or like maybe that was not quite normal for me. And it's most likely like the hormones, the pregnancy, the stress, all of that is getting to me for sure. So if you're experiencing that stuff too, you're not alone. And if you have experienced that kind of stuff during pregnancy and you want to let me know down in the comments below, that would be great too, because then it makes me not feel so alone either. I do know, you read, these are all normal symptoms, all normal things. You talk to your doctor, they're all normal things, but it's nice to hear it from other moms who are in it too. Okay, so that's kind of the way that 15 weeks was going for me. 16 weeks started to pick up a little bit more. So at the end of 15 weeks was my 31st birthday. Ooh, so actually, I guess technically, with what I'm about to tell you, it was the beginning of my 16 weeks. But I went on Wednesday, the day after my birthday, I went to my 16-week appointment with my brand new doctor. And if you haven't seen my video on that yet, I'll link it down in the description box below, but I did a vlog where part of my vlog was driving around and the other part of my vlog was going to my doctor's appointment and my 16-week appointment, and you guys got to see my new doctor office downtown. It's beautiful in Chicago, in the Gold Coast area. It's got a gorgeous view from the waiting room, and it was a really cool experience to go see a new doctor, get the feel for what somebody else's practice is like. And so far, I am really, really enjoying this new doctor. It's a great group, all women, and they really want to help me achieve my goal of having my twins vaginally, and if it's safe, of course. And they're gonna work with me to try and make that possible if we can. And if not, then I am gonna know that they did everything in their power to try and get there. And if we can't get there, I am gonna trust their decision, because I know how hard they are working at trying to make this the birth that I want. So I'm really happy with them. The appointment in general was a really great appointment. We went over everything that had happened with my fertility doctor. We went over everything that had happened with my previous group that I was going to, the group of doctors I was going to, and we kind of just discussed all of that, got caught up on my records, and the one doctor I was seeing is one of the original 3 founders, which is great, and she's going to be my primary doctor. But the way that this office works is it rotates through all of the doctors at different points in your pregnancy, so that just in case your doctor is not available, you've already met the other doctors in the practice, so whoever's on call, like, you don't feel very uncomfortable with them, which I'm totally fine with. That's how my old doctor was as well. So I'm not unfamiliar with that at all, and I'd rather do it that way going in, knowing that there's a chance that my main doctor might not be there on the day of the birth, than go in, only see one person the whole time, and then something happens where they're not available. So that would be heartbreaking. So I kind of like that they just are very upfront about that. Let me know in the comments below, how does your doctor do your appointments? Do they do them like that, where you see different ones all the time because you don't know who you're gonna get? Or do they do it where you just see one the whole time and like hope that they're available on the day? Or they say, I only take Christmas off every year or something like that, because I've heard of both situations, and I'm just really curious, what was your experience with that? I do think that this doctor is going to be really good for me though. So long story short, during this appointment, they decided, based on my records, that they were going to change my due date. So it is 1 day sooner than it was before. So previously it was October 21st, which is a Wednesday, and now it is October 20th, which is a Tuesday. And the way that this practice works is you won't go past 38 weeks with twins. So I will be delivering if I don't go into natural labor on my own before 38 weeks, I will be getting induced on October 6th, which would be my 38-week mark. So when I said earlier that my birthday was the end of 15 weeks, and I said, well, actually, it's the start of 16 weeks, is because they changed my due date. So now everything happens a day sooner than I originally thought. So I had to change all my apps around and put my due date 1 day sooner so that my apps could keep up with my actual new due date. So yes, due date is October 20th, and I won't be giving birth later than October 6th. So that's a cool update. And honestly, it doesn't mean too much as far as development goes or anything like that, but it just means that I will, no matter what, get to see my babies a day sooner than I thought I would. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that happened at my doctor's appointment was I got an ultrasound. So I got a 16-week ultrasound where they just did some of the basic measurements. And the one awesome part is I was able to see which one of my babies is a boy and which one of my babies is a girl. So that was really awesome. It turns out that baby A, and I'll insert his picture here, is a boy, and he wasn't cooperating for the picture. So you get that kind of creepy skeleton look. But you know, that's what we could get him to do. And then baby B is the girl. And so here's her picture here. And she actually gave us a sweet profile picture. So that is the exciting news that we found out during 16 weeks. So we know that most likely baby boy will be born first and baby girl will be born second. So that's pretty exciting, pretty awesome. They told me that they are both currently breech. So their heads are up here. Their feet and their butts are down there. And so baby boy is hanging out more to the right and a little bit down, and baby girl was hanging out more to the left and a little bit up. But baby boy's placenta is lower down and baby girl's placenta is higher up in the uterus, for where the fetuses, I guess embryos at that point, where the embryos had attached to the uterine wall. Whichever one's closer to your cervix is considered baby A. So whichever one is attached lower down, closer to the cervix, meaning that they'll exit first in most scenarios. Can't say all because sometimes things happen, but most scenarios, baby A is going to come out first and baby B is going to come out second, just because that's where they attached on the wall. Yes, so that's all extremely exciting. The appointment went really well. I had a really good time with these new doctors and nurses, and my ultrasound tech actually turned out to be a twin mom herself. So she has twin boys. So she had a great time talking to me. And while I don't get to see very many people these days, it was cool getting to talk face to face with another twin mom. And she has an older daughter, older than her twin boys too. So it's always cool to be able to relate to people on stuff like that. Which is why I make these videos, because I think that it's just so neat to be able to connect with people and, kind of draw lines between your guys' lives and see if things are matching up, which I just think is really great. So hopefully you're enjoying these videos and updates, and hopefully they are helping you connect with somebody, even if you're not able to connect face-to-face personally right now. Okay, a couple other facts about the babies during week 16. We found out that they are both 5 ounces right now. So they're right on track, and both of them are weighing the same, which is really, really great. A lot of times with twin pregnancies, things can get kind of scary if one is falling far behind the other one as far as growth and weight and all of that stuff goes. So whenever you hear that they are close to the same or the same, it's definitely something that is very encouraging. So for us, we were very, very happy to find out that they are both 5 ounces, or were at my 16-week appointment. They're probably quite a bit bigger now. Okay, so those are all of my updates for my stuff that happened during weeks 16 and 15. So now I'm going to go on one of my apps And while I do that, I'm actually gonna overlay, just because I think it's so cool, I'm gonna overlay from the Pregnancy Plus app, which I occasionally do on here, so that you guys can just see what the babies are supposed to be looking like at this point. And I just find it so fascinating and I love looking at it. So I just wanna share that with you guys as well. Okay, so today I'm reading from the Baby Center app. Your babies are in for a growth spurt. In the next few weeks, your babies will double their weight and add inches to their length. Their legs are much more developed and their heads are erect. Scalp pattern. The patterning of your baby's scalp has begun, though their locks aren't recognizable yet. So the cool thing I read in a different article recently was that all of your hair follicles and the placement of them is determined while you're in the womb during this time. And so for the rest of your life, you won't gain or lose more. You'll just have that many. So whatever they are getting right now is going to be their permanent hair follicles. Of course, you can always lose your hair later in life, as most of us know, but the amount of follicles and the pattern of the hair is there for good, which I think is really cool. Your baby's hearts are at work. Your baby's hearts are now pumping 25 quarts of blood each day, and this amount will continue to increase as they develop. Okay, and they say, see what fraternal twins look like in the womb. I'm actually gonna overlay this photo of fraternal twins in the womb for you guys to see, because this is just an estimate of what it would look like in my womb, and I find these to be very, very cool. Okay, your body. So here's some updates from the Baby Center app about what's going on with me this week. So during week 16, your growing uterus. The top of your uterus is about halfway between your pubic bone and your navel, and the round ligament that supports it is thickening and stretching as it grows. That's cool. Feeling better, less nausea, fewer mood swings, and glowing skin, those all contribute to an overall sense of well-being. So they always say that there's a second trimester glow. I didn't really experience that with my first pregnancy. My first 20 weeks of my pregnancy with Chloe were all a glow. I didn't really have that many terrible symptoms besides a little bit of food aversion. But the second half of my pregnancy, starting at 20 weeks and going all the way to 39 when I had her, was rough. I was in a lot of pain. I had a lot of pelvic pain, and it was tough. It was really hard. I didn't sleep well, stuff like that. This time around, I seem to be following a little bit more of like the typical patterns for pregnancy, and maybe it's because I have two, but I had the nausea, I had, sleep issues, bladder issues, things like that. And now that we're moving well into my second trimester, I'm starting to feel like I don't really feel nausea unless I'm brushing my teeth. And I have been sleeping, actually the last couple of days, I've been sleeping a little bit better. So that's been an improvement. Overall, I do feel like things are starting to settle in to that second trimester glow. If you know what I'm talking about, leave a comment down below and just let me know. Did you experience a second trimester glow? Was that kind of your happy period during your pregnancy, or were you kind of miserable your entire pregnancy? Because I just feel like it's not very consistent, but I'm just curious to know. Those are pretty much all of the main updates from the app that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I only have one product that I wanted to talk to you guys about this week. And I'm not an affiliate with them. This isn't sponsored by them at all, but I have found the most perfect maternity leggings that you could ever want. I'm currently wearing a pair. I will show you guys when I show my bump shot so that you guys can see the leggings as well. But I'll also overlay a picture here and I will link them down below. These leggings are so amazing. They are thick but stretchy, so they hold you in really nice, but they're comfortable. They're not too tight, like compression where they're very uncomfortable. They're, comfortable enough. I would say buy your typical size in leggings in these. You don't want to size down. A lot of times in maternity clothes, you end up sizing down, and I'm not sure why, but this brand is pretty true to size. So if you normally wear a small, buy a small. If you normally wear a medium, buy a medium. And they should honestly fit you just the way that your regular ones do, but they do have the panel that comes up all the way over the belly. My favorite aspect of these is that they have pockets, and the pockets are perfect size for you to slide your cell phone in. And if you're like me, you have your cell phone with you everywhere you go, but you also have a toddler who you may have to pick up or you may have to chase after, and having somewhere to slide your pockets when you're running around is so important. But also having pants that are comfortable and you're not having to wear jeans, that's also important, at least for me. So overall, I think that these are such a win. They're super soft and buttery. They wash really well. They haven't pilled at all. I mean, I've only washed them maybe 3 times, but they have not pilled at all during the entire time. I bought 2 pair, and I typically buy the Victoria's Secret leggings that have the pockets in them that are very similar. These are actually better quality than those, and they're less expensive, and they're maternity, but they also carry non-maternity leggings as well. So I feel like I might be converted, and after this pregnancy is over, I might not go back to Victoria's Secret for my leggings anymore, and I may try their non-maternity leggings. So I will link them below, like I said. I'll throw a picture on the screen, and then you guys can tell me what you think. If you order any, let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm not sponsored or affiliated. I won't make any money off of this, but when I find a really good product, I want to be able to share it no matter what. So I hope that you guys like them if you do try them out and order them, but definitely let me know what you think. Okay, and I just wanted to say, on that note of letting me know what you think, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead, and I will put my Instagram handle right here for you. Go ahead and go over to Instagram and give me a follow. I love meeting people that are watching my videos. I love talking to people on Instagram. I honestly chat more on Instagram DMs than I do in text message form anymore at this point. Like, that's where I connect with people. So if you want to connect with me, if you want to be friends, talk about whatever, just go ahead and head over to my Instagram page. It's also linked down below, so you guys can find that there as well. And just, yeah, send me a DM. Let me know, that you came over from YouTube, and that, whatever you have to talk about, let's talk. Before we close out this video, I just want to show you guys my 16-week bump. Thank you guys so much for joining again, and I can't wait until we get to do the next week's update for 17 and 18 weeks. And in the meantime, I hope that you guys are enjoying my vlogs and other sit-down videos that I have been uploading for you. If you have any suggestions of stuff that you want to see on the channel, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. All right, babes, see you in the next one. Bye.